My name is Suzanne Sierra, and I am the Senior Program Manager with the St. Louis Mosaic Project. And the St. Louis Mosaic Project is a regional initiative that is part of the World Trade Center of St. Louis. And we are both under the umbrella of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, which is the economic development agency for the city and the county of St. Louis. And the goal of Mosaic, we were established in 2012, and our goal is to transform St. Louis into the fastest growing major metropolitan area for immigration by the year 2025. And so we work primarily as a marketing agency for a marketing arm of the region. And we have what we call light touch programs. We're really all about making connections, whether they're professional or social, for foreign-born newcomers who come to St. Louis to live here, either because they studied, they're here because they were transferred with a company, or they've migrated here from another state. But we know that without warm introductions and connections to resources that can help them thrive, they may not want to stay here. And so one of our focus areas is helping foreign-born immigrant entrepreneurs, again, who might come here and have no idea where to go for funding or a retail space or how to find a business mentor. And so we're very, very pleased to be partnering in this virtual world that we've been living in with Venture Cafe to offer a series of these kinds of panels for and featuring foreign-born entrepreneurs and other experts who can come and share their expertise. And so with that, today, I'm very excited to introduce you to our speaker. Angie Echele is the founder of Retail Smarter. Angie has 25 years of consumer packaged goods experience with companies like Purina, Energizer, Pepsi, Anheuser-Busch. And she founded Retail Smarter, and I love this, to help level the playing field for small and diverse companies so that their brands win on the product merits, not based on budgets. So I love that. And so Angie is going to give us a primer on selling on Amazon. And then after that, we're going to hear from a foreign-born entrepreneur that we are very proud to have in our community, and that's Bruno Nobre with Minas Espresso. He will tell you a little bit about his business, but basically it's coffee beans from Brazil that he brings from Brazil and sells here in the States. And he uses Amazon to sell. And so we'll hear from him about his process, how he found that to be. And then I really hope that all of the entrepreneurs or small business folks that are on joining us today will chime in later. Of course, you can put comments in the chat. But with that, I will turn it over to Angie.
Suzanne, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. We also have, through the magic of Zoom, my business partner, Steve Smith. So he's here to chime in and answer questions as well. And he actually lives in Provo, Utah. So that's pretty cool that he can be here through Zoom. And so we have planned for about 30 minutes of presentation, followed by Bruno is going to say a few words, I believe, and Q&A. And while the topic of Amazon could take days, if not weeks, to study and learn about, we are just going to try to cover a few of what we think are the highlights in about 30 minutes. So I will share my screen. So first of all, I want to start out by saying we absolutely love family-owned brands. In fact, that's how I met Steve, my now business partner. He was working at Identigene, which was a family-owned company. And so he was a client for 10 years before we became business partners. That's one of the brands that we launched into retail. We've done skincare, mouthwash, hearing health, and later this summer, very excited to launch Rivera Salsa on Amazon as well. So we love family-owned brands. So today we're going to talk about learning from market leaders, basic financials, how to be discovered on Amazon, reviews, advertising, how to build loyalty on Amazon, and working with Amazon in general. So as I said, we'll lightly touch on each one of those. And I would start out with learning from market leaders. I often quote this from Sam Walton, who founded Walmart stores. He said, most everything I've done, I've copied from someone else. And of course, that's not completely true, but he did work for a competitor before he founded Walmart. And he took what he learned from that competitor and built on it and made it his own. And so I find that inspiration for small companies who I say we just have to be scrappy and build our business based on being smarter, and instead of, like you said, instead of the size of your budget. So with that, I always try to look at leaders who are worth emulating. So I have a few here. This is Pompeian olive oil. The estimated monthly sales for this brand on Amazon are $457,000. And I would point to all the different marketing that they have on the side. They have a video. They have great organization, 2 flavors and the different package sizes, very easy to shop. So that's worth emulating. Another product worth emulating is this Goalie. Believe it or not, this brand is selling $10 million in a month, estimated on Amazon. And they are worth emulating for their high quality creative assets. They have a comparison chart to compare it to other items on Amazon. And again, really easy organization. They sell that one bottle. It's always the same size, and you can buy 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, or 5 of them. So very simple business model. Our third one that I hold up as worth emulating is Bright Tech. It's a family-owned company. I've personally bought several of their products, and they do a great job of explaining to the shopper exactly what you're getting. Very detailed product information, again, videos, and great organization as far as every different color that's available and what the price is. And lastly is this brand. It's up and coming on Amazon. It's called Minimo. And their estimated monthly sales for this brand are $82,000. And this is a 3rd grade teacher who left her job to build her business full time. And so you can see her marketing materials are a little bit less sophisticated, but nonetheless very clear. They and inspirational and really well done. So as she grows her business, I think this is another product worth emulating for small businesses. Moving into the financials, what I like to say is begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey said that, and that really means designing and planning from the beginning for profitability. So while it's easy to talk about how expensive Amazon is, it's still likely the least expensive route to market for a small business because they've got all the infrastructure built already. And so, so keep that in mind, embrace that, and remember that small changes in product size or packaging can have a big financial impact. And I'll talk about that in a second with the chart. Definitely make advertising part of your budget. At least 5% of your budget, and some companies maybe even it might be 25% of their budget for advertising. Avoid but still budget for damages and returns. So when you're developing your packaging, we recently redesigned a carton for one of our clients because she was just getting too many damages from Amazon. So the easy thing to do would be to blame it on those Amazon people for their bad handling and throwing your packaging around. But we encourage our clients to take it into their own hands. And just because you're small doesn't mean you can't be smart. So knowing how the package is going to be handled, design a carton that fits the needs and still delivers to the consumer without damage. And allocate time for reviewing and disputing Amazon deductions, because certainly there will be, as your business grows, fees that Amazon takes, and they're not, some of them certainly are warranted and some are not. So that should be part of your schedule, and your budget is reviewing those fees. So the seller account at an Amazon, of course, $39.99 monthly. The referral fee varies by category. So I just took food here as an example. But this is what I mean about small changes, meaning having a potentially large impact. So if you're looking at something that might retail at $15.99, if you can reduce the size of that product or give fewer of them or somehow alter the product to get that retail less than 15, you have a savings of 7% of the referral fee on that. So worth thinking about sizing and packaging. Same goes for fulfillment. There's a price increase that will go into effect on June 1st. So the price difference from 6 to 12 ounces or 12 ounces and above, 50 cents per shipment can really mean a lot. So just keep those costs in mind when you're designing from the very beginning for product sizing and packaging. Next on our list is to talk about being discovered. So this chart is from a company that we like called Jungle Scout. So I just borrowed that for this presentation because I think it's a pretty good explanation of how the organic search rank is determined. So essentially, obviously, Amazon, the algorithm that everyone talks about is really, it's a combination of the factors that Amazon has identified to drive sales. And sales are a direct result of how quickly shoppers can find what they're looking for, whether or not the item is in stock on a reliable basis, and then if it's a fair price versus other retailer sites and a fair price versus competition within Amazon. And then you have the sales velocity piece that's in a big red circle here, because there are so many factors, of course, that go into sales velocity. So it's a combination of elements that Amazon knows are proven to increase the buyer conversion rate. The fulfillment method, of course, they want you to use fulfillment by Amazon. And again, that's because it's proven reliable. Consumers trust it. Reviews obviously drive sales, and we're going to talk more about reviews in a little bit. The more positive your reviews are, the better your ranking you'll have in the organic search. Images, enhanced brand content, A+ content. Advertising, it's of course an additional revenue stream for Amazon, so they want to encourage that, but also they know that advertising drives sales. Promotion, same. They're going to reward people who spend more money with Amazon, but they also know it does drive incremental sales. So all of those things go into higher sales velocity, and the higher sales velocity you have, the higher you rank in organic search. So it's a virtuous circle. So let's talk about, I just want to touch on that first most important factor in organic search rank, and that is text matches. So again, learning from our market leaders, looking at Goalie, this is their product title. This title is 25 words, and 18 of them are key search terms. So I've marked the most common search terms in green and the second most common in yellow, and the tertiary in gray, the third most common. And we use a tool, we use that Jungle Scout tool to determine what the most common key search words are. So 72%, but really almost all of that title are the keywords. And if you look at their product description, it's 211 words and 47 of them are keywords. So in summary, the title is basically all keywords, and the description is a good blend of the keywords that they know that people are searching, along with the marketing messages that that brand wants to get out to consumers about their brand. So a good example of how to construct a great text match to rank high for Amazon. Quality marketing materials. So just like in a regular store or on your own website, the more marketing, the more information, the more education, the more benefits and features you can provide, the better. So in this example, this is actually from some work we did last year for a client. High quality photography. When small clients are on a budget, we just use stock photography. So this was all created using stock photography. Nothing is custom. Nutrition facts and ingredients are important for foods. Sell sheets and product information down the side, a video. Again, we produce that using stock products. And A+ content, or that enhanced brand content, is what you see down the side. And this is when you scroll down that product description page, this is the content that comes from the manufacturer. So using very inexpensive tools and the knowledge of your team, you can likely create these types of marketing materials that help enhance the sales velocity and the organic search rank on Amazon. Talking about reviews. Reviews motivate purchase. No surprise to anyone in this Zoom room here on that. 89% of consumers make an effort to read reviews before buying products. And in fact, this study by Pattern showed that there was a 12% increase in buyer conversion rate when the star rating went from 3 to 5. So reviews are just super, super important on Amazon. I think we all know people who just won't buy anything at all if there aren't reviews. So hard to overstate the importance of reviews. So let's talk about some of the specific advantages on Amazon. They obviously affect organic search ranking. They help justify a higher price. So if consumers are telling other consumers why your product is so great, then that helps you to command a higher retail for that product. And also competitors will be seeking reviews. So in order to succeed, you'll need to outdo them in that regard. So some of the reasons why consumers leave reviews. Number one reason is because they find the product is awesome. So they leave reviews when things are excellent. The second most popular reason why is the opposite of that. They found it unsatisfactory for some reason. So that's again why that marketing material and description becomes so important, because if they're, the better we can set expectations before they purchase, then the more likely we are to reduce bad reviews and to get good reviews. Do they ask for more information, or they say something is broken? So again, all of that planning up front, beginning with the end in mind, comes into play with reviews. And so let's talk about options for getting more reviews. Of course, there's direct buyer-seller communication. You can email people who have purchased your product. Amazon has a review request feature that can help automate the reviews. The Amazon Vine program is a great way to get samples out into hands of consumers and have them review your products. There are paid automation services that you can use outside of Amazon. And this last one, it might be surprising. It's always respond to negative reviews in a timely and positive manner, because research shows that negative reviews, when consumers are impressed by how you've handled them, they trust you more. And it invites more reviews, which most of which are likely, of course, to be positive reviews. So responding to every review is a good practice and a good investment of time. I know as a small business owner, time is our most precious resource, but it really is important. And so then moving into advertising, this is an area that just has exploded on Amazon, and you can spend all day doing it, I know, but it's just super important because advertising has become essential really to be seen by the shopper. This is just a screenshot for shampoo, and you can see that the first entire page is really just taken up by ads. So it's a matter of just the visible space that the consumer sees is paid ads. So that's one reason why they're essential. There's many different types of ads that Amazon offers now, and their array seems to be growing every day. So devote time to learning how the programs work, what they cost, and which ones are most effective for your products. And as I said before, plan to invest at least 5% of sales in marketing or in advertising. I pointed out down here this video ad. This is relatively new on Amazon, and Amazon is saying that these video ads are having a 5 times click-through rate versus a static sponsored ad like one of these at the top. So that's a conversion rate up to 50% greater. So something worth considering. Schedule a block of time each week or each day to monitor results and to adjust as needed. And also understand that what worked yesterday, next week might not work in the same way. So winning techniques will change over time as the competitive dynamics change and as Amazon rules change. And do competitive research to learn what leaders are doing. Again, study the leaders. And Amazon Seller University is a great free resource. So we use that a lot. So this is an example of driving interested buyers to Amazon from other places. And of course, Amazon offers advertising that does this as well, but you can do this for free from other places. So this is Pinterest, where Clear Blue is taking desktop users. You can see these are Walmart and Rite Aid and Target. Yes, you can go to these traditional retailers, but when a mobile user selects Buy Now on Pinterest, it takes them to the Amazon store. And the Amazon store, we also use it for social media because it's familiar and it's an easy buying experience. So from your own social media channels, it's a great idea to drive to Amazon. Later on, after you build scale, you may prefer your own website after you have the infrastructure to reduce costs. But like I said in the beginning, Amazon's a great way to do that. And then referrals from influencer channels or other websites. Amazon has special programs for them and can really help build your sales velocity, which again increases your organic search ranking. Loyalty, how to build loyalty on Amazon. Well, one of our favorite ways of doing so is to create a storefront. And I have an example here from that family-owned company, Bright Tech. So if I like my Bright Tech lamp and I have a future need for a different lamp in a different room, I know Bright Tech has good quality. So I can then go to the Bright Tech store and see all the different products that Bright Tech makes. So this is great, especially for products that would not rank high organically or that you don't want to invest money in advertising. But the store itself really is dependent upon that singular product listing because that's where you're building interest and awareness for your brand. So the store comes into play after some of your items have already built sales velocity through the product listing for the individual products. Other ways to build loyalty are to send thank you notes to buyers. You can send coupons to buyers. Bright Tech does that a lot. Offering temporary price reductions. And of course, Amazon has their subscribe and save button. So, or program. So those are some other ways to build loyalty. Lastly, working with Amazon. Sometimes I feel like we should pull up a chair and have a share group or a counseling session about how to get through life with Amazon. But I would just like to encourage everyone to stay with it. The top priority that we have when we work with Amazon is really just that proper setup. When you're fixing something afterwards, it's always more difficult than it is to set it up correctly the first time. So we call that data integrity. So when you're setting up company contact information, the brand trademark documentation is super important. The Amazon SKU number setup, pricing, measuring the product in the case, physical specifications, the weight, the height, the depth. Make sure you do all that right the first time, and give a lot of thought to how you set up the sizing versus multi-packs, how to express colors, sizes, taste variants, because how each one of those is set up later on affects your advertising and other parts of your business. And then inventory maintenance. Keep it up to date as far as stock availability, and kind of double check Amazon on that. Data integrity fuels successful operations in really every way. Product availability, advertising, customer satisfaction and reviews. And of course, it will differentiate you from competitive sellers who aren't as organized as you are. We've seen our clients gain over competitors based on just making it an easier shopping experience, making it something that is a no-brainer for the shopper to understand and click that buy button. And that's a fast, but I hope an informative overview. And I hope it's an inspiration for some of those thousands and even millions of dollars of sales that are available to even a small company on Amazon. And I open it now to just to say in closing that that's what Amazon's there for. They really do pride themselves on helping the small businesses. The issue is that they have thousands of people around the world fielding questions. So of course, when you're emailing them, the talent level is going to vary widely from person to person. And so if you can be patient and they can be patient, and when you communicate with them, be as specific as possible. Include the item number, include links to any pages that you have questions about, include screenshots, and don't give up. It might take a few days or even a few weeks or months, but we've had great luck with resolution by just being patient and persistent, and we know that you can too. And we also want to offer some of our resources that we like and we use when we work with our clients. Amazon itself, really don't underestimate the value of hunting through that seller university. Lots of answers there. Jungle Scout is an affordable service. There are many Amazon agencies and services, and some of them can be very, very expensive. But for small companies, we like Jungle Scout. It's a very affordable resource. Tenuity is a more sophisticated resource that has a lot of resources around data. And then don't underestimate good old Google. So if you're having an issue with Amazon, Google your question, and likely you'll find answers from other Amazon sellers who have faced the same problem in the past and like to help each other. So with that, I turn it over to Bruno to add his experiences, and to you, Suzanne, as the facilitator. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Angie. That was a lot packed in, but what a wealth of information, and really helping underscore that it is doable. And so now I do want to just give Bruno Nobre a few minutes to talk about his business. He's selling on Amazon. So Bruno is a friend of Mosaic in that he is a foreign-born entrepreneur. He's from Brazil and founded and operates Minas Espresso, which is Brazilian coffee, which he sells around the country and also on Amazon. And so, Bruno, I'd love to just have you give us a brief little business overview, and then how long have you been selling on Amazon, and how has your process been, and then anything else you want to reference based on Angie's great presentation. I'll turn it over to Bruno.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. And hi, everyone. Bruno here. First, thank you, Suzanne, for inviting. Angie, so far, what my experience can tell me, your presentation will be tremendous 2 years ago for me. Will be like, I feel like so bad now seeing all this presentation because I couldn't get that about 2 years ago. It's really impressive, really nice, very well organized, Angie, very professional. Everyone listening here that would love to start with Amazon or struggling with Amazon, whatever Angie just presented was the way to go. Sorry, my phone is ringing here. My experience with Amazon, I start all myself without any knowledge. I say, I want to sell Amazon. I start creating my account and listing my product. Today I can see everything I did wrong on the past, not having a professional helping me out. Again, I would love to have you back then, Angie, to help me to start that. I had a lot of, I'd say, road obstacles on that because I first started selling FBM because I didn't know how that was going to be. So I decided to ship it myself, not Amazon FBA. So also when you start it, I feel that's comfortable to fulfill by myself because I just would like to send a bunch of products to Amazon, and my product has a life time, a shelf life. So if you don't sell, what they're gonna do? We're gonna lose the product. You know, you gotta have to analyze that. But now we have most of them FBA, and after all, we managed to have 4.2 stars on the rate side and almost 150 review. I feel that 150 is really low, but was a heck of work to get to the 150 reviews. But the point that Angie also mentioned, like, you cannot give up. You need to find a way to to have someone to help you in the best way for professional pictures, for the keywords, description, to line up your product very nice on Amazon. That will help you a lot. I would say for the first year, I was really happy in a week that I could see one product sale on Amazon. Every week that I had a product, I was really happy. And suddenly when I start, there is a bunch of people out there offering help on Amazon. You gotta be careful. Some people will really help, some people will just take your money out. So you gotta select, you gotta look professional or like guidance like Angie or people that has really, really great knowledge to support with Amazon. That is one thing I really recommend. If you have the time yourself, because it's almost like a full job, that's why I transferred that to someone else because I was consuming quite a lot of time of myself to grow inside of Amazon. Another thing that I write it down here, all the keywords, all the professional work you can have. Storefront, it's really, really important. I figured that out lately, but we did the trademark. That one thing that I experienced as well, okay? So if you see, I'll take a package here. I used to have a packaging, but if you see, for example, our logo right here, we first did the trademark of only the image to create the storefront at Amazon. And then Amazon did not accept it. They said that you have to have the words of the company or something like that. But we couldn't get the words because Espresso, you know, we had some issue with the trademark. So now we are trying to work again with the trademark to have our storefront. That's what we expect to give our next level on Amazon. having a storefront, and then we'll work on that. But if you are going to work with a trademark, check what Amazon accept, because a trademark is a 6 months, a year process. So you gotta do it right. So unfortunately, we didn't at the first. We have our trademark, just the image of our farmer, but we need to have some words there. And then we are almost 1.5 years at time on that road. So watch out that if you are planning to do a trademark, that's very important because it's a long time to do. So we still have a FBA and FBM at Amazon. Every time we're going to launch a new case, a new package, or a new bundle, we do FBM and see how that goes. And then as the volume goes up, we turn it to the FBA. So actually today we are shipping some pallets to Amazon, just the new product we are turning to the FBA after some trials on the case of 6 and case of 4. So you can play around with that to see what is the best for you. Again, review is very important. Responding all the problems you have with products or customers, it's very important to be on top of that. One thing that I just feel that Amazon is very protective for the customer, the buyer, and the supplier, the manufacturer, always, you know, so you gotta watch what you're doing to make sure everything is right for you to not all the problems fall on you, because everything that happened on the sales, return, damage, everything's come back to the manufacturer, to the seller, not to the customer and not to the Amazon. So on that chain, seller, Amazon and buyer, everything falls back on the sellers most of the time. So you gotta be careful to make things right. Another point that we are suffering a little bit, actually our account is showing at risk now because we work with some FBM, and then lately we are facing a lot of problem with delivering, shipping carriers, USPS, UPS, FedEx, whatever. Some delays. You need to watch your time spent for delivery, for purchasing and all that, because we say 7 days, some package on the way disappear, and then Amazon will come after you and they will disconnect you from sale if you don't fix it, if you don't get it right. So just FBM, when you're shipping from your own, just be careful that some package will be missing, some package will disappear. I had some packages that 3 months after shipping, they returned it to me, and the carrier said we couldn't find the address, the receiver reject or whatever, no found. And then I still have on my record here that is a default from my side, and I have to assume that as my problem, and that's why my account is on risk now, because in a very short of a time, a sequence, we had 5 package missed, and that totally put ours on risk. 1% above the mistake or whatever here, it will put our account on risk. So, but we never had that if you're listening to a very expert, you know, or if I had that presentation from Angie before. But we still move on. We are happy. We are growing on Amazon, and we are keeping up. We're not giving up. We're keeping up. Angie, we might be talking lately, of course, after that, because all the expertise, and I feel it's great to bring it in, I will bring it in, because that's my goal, is to come to the $10 million a day sales. No one will reach that if you never start. So that's what I can recommend. Be prepared for a lot of stuff that comes to your way. Not gonna be right, but keep on, you make it.
Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap up. Again, thanks so much for joining us today. It's a beautiful day and you could have been outside, but you chose to be with us. Thank you so much to Bruno for stepping away from your sales and your third year celebration to join us and really provide us with some very, very helpful hands-on real life experience. And to Angie and Steve, fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and demonstrating that it is doable and that you are a resource to help companies succeed. And thanks to Venture Cafe for partnering with us on these series.